Today I'm going to be doing 2 looks with the new Melt Cosmetics ELECTRIP palette. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Rachel, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I've got timestamps down in the description box if you want to skip around. I'm going to start off with swatches and a little bit about the palette. Then I'm going to go into the first and second look and then give you my thoughts at the end. Upon opening the package, I thought it was packaged really well. It did not take very long to get to me. This is my very first experience with Melt Cosmetics. So I've never purchased any of their products before. Honestly, when I got this and I looked at it in person, it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. There's definitely more weight to it than I thought there was going to be. And then the pans are actually bigger than I thought they were going to be. Again, I've never owned a Melt palette before. This is probably standard for them. This color story I thought was super fun when I saw it on Instagram for the first time. We've got neutrals, we got pops of color, we got blue, which I'm into blue now. Let me give you a little bit of information about the palette. The ELECTRIP eyeshadow palette retails for $58. This $420, we take you on a trip. Welcome to our bright, lucid dream. Immerse yourself in the psychedelic colors of the new ELECTRIP palette. Creamy chromes and true vivid mattes, let it show you what's hidden in your mind. This is a 10-pan palette, 4 mattes, 6 shimmers, and Melt Cosmetics is cruelty-free. The collection also includes some other products that I didn't pick up. There was like a body glitter, some liquid lips, but all I did was purchase the palette. Now, it is $58, but they are, at the day that I'm filming this, having 30% off. I will put the code down in the description box, and of course, I will link the palette as well. I didn't use the code. Because I didn't see it. So I paid full price. I know I should contact Melt and try to get my money back. I know some of you have advised me to do that and told me that you did the same. So I really love the packaging. I love the look of the palette. You're gonna have to stick around to see how I created the 2 looks. This look is look number 2, and I can give you my initial thoughts after just using the palette twice. This is not a review. It's just a first impressions and just having fun with makeup. All right, I'm gonna send you off to look number 1. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing my first look with the ELECTRIP palette. I'm so excited. This is my first experience with Melt Cosmetics. And this is what she looks like, half neutral, half blue. I'm into blues now. I'm no longer saying that I'm not a blue girl. I'm into blues. But today, it's Easter, the day that I'm filming this. Happy Easter if you celebrate. I want to go more with this side today and keep it a little bit more neutral-ish. And yes, I lost a nail, but I'm keeping it off because I love having one finger with no nail so that I can apply my shimmers with it. I've already primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm gonna go into the shade Bang right here, this like really pretty peachy coral. So when I put my brush in, there is quite a lot of kick up in the pan. I'm just gonna put this all through my crease. Very, very pigmented, I can tell right off the bat. Okay, that was incredibly easy to use, incredibly easy to blend. No issues at all whatsoever. I made it a little more of a sheer color because I want it to be more of that transition shade type of feeling, but I'm sure you can build this up even more. It looked like it's super buildable. I'm gonna go a little crazy with it. I'm gonna go into this like strawberry shade called Strawberry Fields. I'm just gonna put this basically in the outer portion of my lid and maybe a little bit into the crease. Let's see. Just wanted something soft and pretty here. I'm achieving that so far. That's a really pretty red. I think it pulls a little more like coral because I'm pairing it with that more peachy coral shade. But it's really pretty, it's pigmented, no complaints. I'm gonna go in with the NYX Glitter Primer, and I'm just gonna place this on the lid. Okay, so I did swatch these shades because I made a reel. And so when I touched all of these shimmers, they actually felt really nice. They are like smooth and sparkly. I've not heard the greatest things about Melt's shimmer formula, but from the ones I touched, they actually felt really good, apart from Saturn. This one is just strictly like a very sheer, dry topper. So just be aware of that just upon touching them. Obviously, I haven't used them on my eyes yet, but we're about to. So I'm actually gonna go in with Head Trip, this like beautiful orange. I'm so excited. I'm just gonna pick that up. Oh, looks very metallic. And I'm just gonna place this all over the lid. That looks so beautiful. It looks very sunsetty, doesn't it? And now I'm gonna go into that more toppery shade Saturn. I don't know if this is gonna do anything. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna tap it over the top to see if that does absolutely anything. Like just swatching it, nothing's really coming up. I wonder if I had a brush and sprayed the brush if it would make a difference, but really pretty. Again, I'm just trying to keep it very simple, light, bright today. Just really using these 4 shades. I'm gonna go off camera. I will be right back. Okay, so we're gonna do the lower lash line. I kind of actually want to use this brown shade called Reefer, and I want to smudge this up against my lower lash line and kind of connect it to the wing that I have going. I'm going to pick it up on a flat definer brush and I'm going to spray it with just any old setting spray that I've got. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. I'm going to go into Bang. This is Bang, like B-H-A-N-G. I don't know what it means. I'm not cool enough to get these references. And I'm just gonna smudge out that brown. Okay, so I'm back and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think the look came out really, really pretty. I mean, I love a warm tone look. I love orange, okay? So I do really like the look. I think the mattes, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix my hair. It's a bit crazy. I think the mattes that I used, these two, as well as that brown, were really nice. They were easy to sheer out because I didn't want it to be like super red in your face, but I do feel like you're getting that little pop of red and I was able to make it a little more sheer. So I think the mattes blended great. They were easy to use. These shimmers that I used, I don't think that they're the most metallic shimmers. I do like how the look turned out in the end and I think it's very pretty, but if you really like very sparkly, very metallic shimmers, this look may not be like your favorite, the metallics in this look. Head Trip, that orange, I mean, again, I love orange, so I do like that color, but it is a pretty, you know, pretty opaque, but not super metallic. And then I did put Saturn on top, and I do think, especially away from the big light being in front of the window, I could see that little extra sparkle, but it's nothing major, it's nothing crazy, but I do like how the look turned out in the end. So I'm very excited. I have a couple of other looks in mind. I'm probably only gonna do one other look before I post this video, but I will use this again in a YouTube short or in some other way, some other video. So I think that's all I had to say. Yeah, everything else that's on my face, I will link down in the description box as usual if you are interested in knowing. But now I'm gonna send you off to look number 2. Okay, I'm going to do another look with the ELECTRIP palette. I have tape on, if you didn't notice. I'm not gonna do a blue look. I've done so many blue looks recently, but I wanna use this tone and this green, like the greenish gold looks so pretty. So I kind of just want to use these two plus the green, make it a little smoky. That's what I'm thinking. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna take a really big fluffy brush. I'm gonna go into Reefer, that dark brown. I'm gonna try to pick it up very lightly on the brush and just kind of brush it across as a transition shade. Let's see if I can sheer this out. Ooh, it's pretty pigmented. All right, I'm gonna get something a little bit more dense. I'm gonna go back into that same shade Reefer, and I'm gonna place this more in my outer corner and my crease. I'm gonna try to get even deeper with it, so I'm going in with just like a really dense pencil brush. Same shade, but just place it more in the outer corner. I quite like where that is at. Now I'm gonna go in with the NYX Glitter Primer and just place this all over the lid. I'm gonna start with my finger to apply it, and if I need to get more precise because of my nails, I'll go in with the brush. But I'm gonna go into Far Out, this like cool toned bronzy shade. It looks so pretty, very pretty. I'm gonna focus this more the middle to outer part of my lid, leaving the inner part of my lid free for that other shimmer. That's really pretty. I I think for my inner corner of my eye, I am gonna use a brush just because I know with this long talon of a nail, I can't get in there. So I'm just gonna take the shade Magic Mush on a brush. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette, just like looking at it. I'm gonna pick it up on the brush and I'm gonna spray the brush. Put that in the inner part of my lid. That shade is beautiful. Ooh, that is really pretty. Love that combination of shades. I can already tell without having taken off the tape that these are not even. I'm gonna go do some damage control, get the rest of my makeup on, I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Okay, I am back. Everything else that is on my face will of course be linked down in the description box below. Something that I did while I was off camera is I felt like I took that brown shade Reefer up a little too high, so I just went in to another palette and grabbed a matte shade that's close to my skin tone, and I just kind of blended up into my eyebrow just to like bring it down a notch, you know? I'm gonna go in with a flat definer brush into Reefer, that dark brown shade, the only matte shade that I've been using. I'm gonna spray it, and I'm going to push this up against my lower lash line. I'm gonna take a tiny little blending brush with the same exact shade Reefer. I'm gonna put it on and tap it off just to get the excess and smoke it out. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it came out so pretty. I love this grungy green look. It makes me very happy inside. At least based on these first 2 times that I've used this palette, I feel like when I sprayed my brush with this shade Magic Mush, it showed up the most metallic of all the metallics that I used. Now, I don't know if it's just the shade or if it's the fact that I used a brush and sprayed it. I'm gonna continue using this palette and put it in a palette ranking video in the future. Every 6 weeks or so, I get a bunch of palettes that I've fully tested, that I've got my full thoughts on, and I give you kind of little speed reviews in a ranking style. So this will show up in a palette ranking in the future. I do like the matte that I used today. I love when, especially when there's not a ton of mattes in a palette, when I can use one matte and use it with different brushes to make it look like I'm using several different mattes. So I was able to achieve that with this one matte today. So that's wonderful. So upon my first and second impression, I think the palette is really nice. Like I said, apart from today's metallic that I used up here, the other metallics were good. They're nice. They're kind of a standard metallic, nothing crazy special. I definitely wish there were more mattes, but listen, I bought the palette and I knew going in that there were only 4 mattes in the palette. So I can't really fault the palette for that, but I do prefer a matte heavy palette if I can help it. The other thing that's not like ideal for me is there is no shade in here that is perfect for me for an inner corner. I do have to reach into another palette, but again, really not the end of the world. It's totally fine. I have a bazillion palettes that I can reach into for an inner corner shade. Overall, I think it's fun. I like the color story. I love that you've got this more coral corner, you've got blues, you've got neutrals, you've got a little bit of everything, so good. The mattes were really easy to use. I think the mattes are the standout in the palette. I really don't have a frame of reference because I've never tried another melt palette before, but if you have tried another melt palette and you've picked this one up as well, let me know your thoughts. Like, does this compare? Is it the usual Melt Cosmetics formula? I would really love to know. And just in general, let me know your thoughts on the palette. Let me know your thoughts on my looks. Which one is your favorite? I like both looks. Both looks were very much up my alley. Of course, I will continue to use this and give you my full thoughts in the future. All right, and if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.